Galut. Remember, Yaakov, Jacob, represents exile. He's the one who has to leave Israel, unlike his father, who never did, but he does. So he's going to be the patriarch who represents the entire concept of exile, of Galut. Okay, so we're going to have to look through his eyes in order to understand the exile we are in today. And so he's up on the mountain and he has a dream. Now, dreams, when they're mentioned in the Torah, there's actually been 10 dreams that we see in the Torah. And these 10 dreams really are the epicenter of all of Jewish history, because the Gemara tells us that a dream is a 60th of Nevuah, of prophecy. So he's actually having a prophetic vision. And it's probably one of the most famous dreams in Jewish history. He dreams of a ladder. And on this ladder, he sees angels going up and angels going down. Angels going up and down. Why they're going down, up and down rather than down and up is a very interesting question. We'll leave that for another time. But for now, we know these angels are going up and down. And the expression in the Torah is olim, v'yoredim, olim to go up, and yored is to go down. We know that there were 4 angels that he saw on this ladder. Each one of these 4 angels is going to represent the 4 exiles the Jewish people have been through. So the first angel went up 70 rungs, and that represents the first exile of Babylonia that lasted 70 years. So 70 rungs, 70 years. The second angel went up 52 rungs and then came down. So we know that the second exile of Paras Umara is going to be 52 years. 1 rung for each year that the Jewish people are going to be in exile. The third angel went up 130 rungs, and that represents the Greek exile of Yavan, when the Jewish people were in Israel and the Greeks came. That's the whole Hanukkah story. And the final exile is the 4th angel that he sees, and it goes up and up and up and up, and it just doesn't stop going up. And so Yaakov, understandably, was very, very scared. He freaked out. He said, what's going to happen? At what point are the Jewish people going to be redeemed? How are they going to be able to escape from this terrible final exile of Rome, which to this day, Christendom, really, the Catholic Church, is based out of Rome. And so we have this major problem of Yaakov on this mountain saying, well, where is the end going to be? How am I going to ever come back? And just for interest, we know the numerical value, the gematria of Olim v'Yordim is 428, which corresponds to the 4 words of Bavel, Paras Umadai, Yavan, and Romi, because Rome, as we said, is the epicenter. That also comes to 428. So we know that these 4 exiles represent the 4 angels that he sees going up this ladder, and 3 of them coming down, but the 4th one he didn't see coming down, and he had to be reassured by God, by Hashem, that even this final 4th exile would come to an end. The key point is that he does go into exile, and in exile he suffers greatly. Remember, Masa Avot, Siman Labanim. Whatever our ancestors went through is a sign for their descendants, and that's us. It's more than a sign, it's a portent, it's a vision, it's an embryo, if you will, of what's going to happen in the future. So what Yaakov went through is what his children, us, the Jewish people, Bnei Yisrael, Yisrael is what Yaakov's name became, right? Was changed over, is really what we are going to go through as well. And so he leaves, and while in exile he deals with some very, very, very bad people, particularly his uncle Lavan, his mother's brother. Rivka, his mother, had a brother called Lavan. It's ironic, because Lavan means white, which is a word of purity, but actually he was a very, very challenging and difficult person, right? So he was like a real trickster. Even his name wasn't honest. That's really what Lavan was all about. But Yaakov becomes very financially successful in Chutz La'aretz. He becomes very financially successful. He makes a lot of money. Many years later, and we're jumping ahead a little bit, but just to complete this cycle over here, he's going to come back to Israel with wives and with children and with a rechush gadol, with great wealth, and resettle eventually in the land of Israel. From here we learn something fascinating. And that is the Mashiach is going to come after a long exile, which Yaakov is living, at least in the miniature version, he's actually living that challenge of exile in Chutz La'aretz, but he came back successful with family, and so too the Jewish people will as well, after a break with financial success as well in the land of Israel. And so we're going to see the land of Israel is going to be in a financial stable state when Mashiach comes. That makes sense. You can't have Mashiach coming in a place which isn't successful and thriving. And that's what we're seeing today. And that is why, by the way, the juxtaposition of the blessing in the Amidah, in the Shemona Esrei, right, the standing prayer that we say, over there we see the bracha of Shanim, which is a blessing for financial success, is followed right afterwards with the blessing about the coming of Mashiach, because the two go hand in hand. And so the financial resources that God blesses us with in Chutz La'aretz, in the land of Israel, is another case completely. But at least when we are in Galut, like Yaakov was in Galut, is there to actually help us become better people and eventually to bring us back to the land of Israel and to welcome Mashiach. That, by the way, is the secret of financial success of the Jewish people in preparation for Mashiach and to help build up and bring financial success to the land of Israel, whether through knowledge or information, will eventually, God willing, we will see Mashiach coming together with that. And really, this is the first time in a long time the Jewish people have had so much success in the land of Israel. This whole startup nation that we're seeing now play out, thank God, is really a major prelude to the redemption of Mashiach, which Yaakov preempted and we're seeing today.